What's up, guys? How we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about bartering in SHTF, and we're going to be talking about the goods and the bads, and a few other things of like what people are forgetting to put in their bug out packs. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Okay, so I was looking on Facebook the other day, and I'm on some of these pages that are, survival, whatever pages, type of things, and I do that kind of to get some. Sometimes I do that to get video topics to talk about because I see some of the discussions that are going on there, and it's like, okay, maybe I should make a video on my point of view. But the question was, it was what things people wish they had but forgot about in their survival pack. A lot of that kind of depends on what do you mean by survival pack? I mean, are you talking about your bug out bag, or are you talking about your car kit, your house kit, your survival? I mean, it kind of depends on that too of what it is. But as you go through, you see some weird answers and you see some good answers. Some of them can make sense to some people. But I'm just here to kind of give you my take on some of these and how it kind of got into a discussion on bartering because it's. But anyway, some of the legit answers on survival pack, and again, this kind of depends on what you mean by survival pack. But some of the legit ones, baby powder, I can see that. You put a little bit of that in your bug out bag or something because, you might get raw in certain places when you're walking a lot. Q-tips, for reasons, those should be in your medical kit anyway. You should have some of those in your medical kit. But some people may forget, antibiotics. It's a little less forgotten about. Sunscreen, depending on the time of year and your location, you might want to have some sunscreen, even if it's just a little personal spray bottle, spray yourself. And bug spray, kind of the same thing. Just things like that. I'm not going to go through everything that they were saying, but certain things like that people tend to forget about. And, but some of the other ones that I didn't really think was major. I mean, one of them, morale boosters, like books and, games, cards. Again, that depends on your nature of what you consider a bug out pack and what you're going to be doing for survival or your survival pack. Hey y'all, I'm sorry to interrupt, and I appreciate y'all watching. I just wanted to take a quick few seconds to say thank you. Y'all are the lifeblood of the channel, the viewers, the subscribers. But if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, take a few seconds, hit that subscribe button. Trying to reach some goals, got a few other things I'm working on. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Couldn't do it without you. There's also donation links. If you feel like donating, there's a super thanks. You don't have to do that. No pressure for that, but it's there if you want. If anything, just hit the subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing. Takes you 5 seconds. And then if you don't like me, you can unsubscribe. No harm, no foul. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate you. Y'all are the reason I do this. I don't do this just because I do this for you, and I appreciate you. I couldn't do it without you, and I wouldn't do it without you. So if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment. The YouTube algorithmic stuff. I don't have to explain it. Just take that few seconds and hit the buttons, do the things. Check out the links. I've got socials down below, links to other channels, links to whatever links there are. Just check them out. Help me out. Do whatever, help me out with a few pennies if you feel like it. If not, just hit the button. Every subscribe helps. Every view helps. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Back to your show. In SHTF, depending on the nature of SHTF, like everybody always says, well, that depends. Well, you're in survival mode. You're not in, let's live as comfortably as possible and let's try and enjoy it as much as possible. No, you're in survival mode. You're there to survive, not to play games, not to read books, not to. Is it good morale if it's a long-term deal and you're you're bugging in for an extended period of time and you need to keep yourself, it's good to have. But if you're talking like bugging out or, survival, you're in survival mode, not in comfort morale mode. I mean, some things, yes, extra socks, things that, flavor for your food, stuff like that, maybe, yes. But I mean, when you're in survival mode, you're in survival mode. It's not, and there was even somebody, some things are just good to make life a little easier, in a tough situation. Well, like I said, your survival mode. A bug out bag. A lot of people misinterpret what a bug out bag is for, and they think they're just going to, when the time comes, they're just going to go off into the mountains and just live out of their bug out bag and just, hunt and scavenge and forage and fish and trap, and not going to happen. Your bug out bag is to get you from here to there. That's it. As quickly and as efficiently and as possible. It's not to go camping. You're not going to be out camping. You're not going to be, bare essentials. And, other things, dish soap and bleach. If you're at home, okay, you need dish soap, you need bleach, I get it. But if you're, survival pack, whatever you mean by pack, you don't need stuff like that in it. And there was all kinds of dumb answers, and some were good answers, some were dumb answers. Some I could, okay, I get it, but I mean, think about it up here. I mean, you've got to have common sense. What do you mean by survival pack? That's the biggest thing, is what do you mean by survival pack? What's up? Sorry to interrupt your video, but I just wanted to show you this little thing that I've got. I wanted to kind of show you some of the equipment I use and some of the gear I use. I'm not sponsored by these guys at all. This is a SOG. It's the Tellus. It's a really good knife. It's fairly lightweight and it's very, very sturdy. It stays sharp really well. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by these guys at all, nor am I affiliate with these guys. They're not paying me to say anything about this, but it's a very, very, very good knife. I use it a lot. I mean, you can tell I haven't used it a ton, but I've got my EDC knives, but it's a very quality, very sturdy knife. Comes with a Kydex sheath. The clip isn't the best, but just want to show you I am an Amazon affiliate to these. So if you do want one, I'll leave a link below to it. But again, I'm not affiliated by these, nor do I sell them or anything like that. I just leaving you a link to Amazon. If you want one, it's an excellent knife, and if you buy one off that link, you get a good, solid, budget-friendly knife, and you're helping me out with a few pennies. If you feel up for it. If not, that's cool. I just wanted to show you kind of some of the gear I use and give you the opportunity to buy it. I am poor man's preparedness, so I do stuff that doesn't cost so much. This actually was in one of them subscription boxes like Tac Pack or something. So it actually, costed me whatever the box costed. But like I said, keep it short. There is a link below to an affiliate Amazon if you want one. Again, I'm not sponsored. They're not paying me anything to say this. They're not, I don't sell these. I don't have a store that sells these or anything like that. Just an Amazon affiliate. If you buy one, you get a good quality knife at a reasonably decent price, and you're helping me out with a few pennies. So it's a win-win, So anyway, appreciate you. Get you back to your show now. But anyway, and I kind of got onto that. I was like, my comment was something about people focus too much on gear and on stuff, and not focusing on knowledge of how to use it, where you're going, and stuff that you actually need to survive. Like, what do you actually need? And you don't need all this crap. People focus too much on that, and if they would focus more on the stuff that they need to survive, then it would be a lot easier or something. And then somebody mentioned something about bartering, and that's where that's where this video is kind of like in a bartering thing, is to barter. And my take on bartering, for one, and she was like, well, why don't you just, buy it to barter, buy things to barter. And that doesn't make sense to me, as buying things for the specific reason to barter it. Because then you're just spending money on stuff you don't need. You're taking up space for stuff you don't need. If you know you're not going to need it, why buy it? Just to barter it? No, that's not a good enough reason to me, says me. And this is just my opinion. And bartering, I think bartering is going to be short term. At the very beginning of, if it's a long-term deal, short term, it's going to be, it could work, your neighbors, your close by people, but and what's the point? What are the pros of it? Well, the pros are somebody might have something you need. You may have forgot something, or you may not have been done preparing. There may have still been stuff you're working on when it happened. You still could be a new to the prepping thing and haven't been able to get everything you need. So that's a good reason to barter, is to get some things and you may have something that some other new preppers don't have, that they're still getting into it, or there are some good things about bartering. If you've been doing this a while, you should know what you need to survive. You should be training with it. You should be practicing with it. If you don't need it to survive now, if you don't use it now, if you're not going to need it to survive when that time comes. You're not going to need it to survive. And even if you do need it, you're not going to know how to use it because you don't have it. Haven't been practicing with it. You haven't been training with it. You haven't been using it. So what would be the point to, I get some things, medicine, but if you know you need medicine, if you know someone in your family needs some medicine, you better be working on getting that. It shouldn't surprise you like, oh crap, I'm out of it. That's the problem. You should know this. You should know what you need in order to live, to survive an extended period of time. You shouldn't need to know that. Another reason would be, you can only trust people for so long. They may be your neighbors, they may be good, but eventually, if it stays long-term enough, they're going to get hungry. And people do some crazy things when they're hungry. Not everybody's good people long-term. There are people that, they turn bad after a long period of time, after they've been hungry for several days, haven't had a bite to eat. Sometimes they get to the point where they're willing to do pretty much anything for some food, or for some supplies, or for their medicine, or for whatever, because they weren't prepared enough. And if they know you have it and they got nothing to offer you, what are you going to do? You're going to turn them down? You're going to just give it to them? Now you might be forced to give away some of the stuff that you need. But the way I see it is, bartering is going to be short term. It's not going to be long term viable. You got to have what you need, and because you're going to find out that some things are going to go quicker than you think they are. Your medical supplies, maybe not, but if everybody knows you got medical supplies, they're going to keep coming back for you. And that's the thing. If it's something like that they know you have it, even if they are good people and they're not going to come and try and rob you or try and kill you or try and come and take it from you, they're going to keep coming back because they know you've got it. Hey, I need more of that. 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 And eventually you're going to be like, well, I don't have any more to spare because now I'm out because these people keep coming back to me for more. So it's that. I don't think bartering is a great idea, and don't waste your money on items specifically to barter. Don't be like, oh, this is a good bartering item, I should buy it. No, buy something that you need. Don't buy something that somebody else is going to need. Because if they know you've got something that they want or that they need, they're going to keep coming back. And whether they keep coming back for more legitly willing to trade, you're eventually going to run out, or they're going to come back and try and take it from you if they get desperate enough. That's the problem. I mean, how long does it take before good people turn into bad people when they become desperate? See, that's the thing. It's all most prepping is up here. It's not in stuff. It's not in your, a lot of it is, you've got to have, you've got to plan for your food and your water based on your family and, your ammo. That's a touchy topic in my opinion, because some people think you need every single bullet ever made, and some people don't think you need that much. I don't think you need that much. Need that much in SHTF because you're not going to be out. Some people may, but legit, you're not going to be out hunting for gunfights. You're not going to be out searching for gunfights. You're not going to be hunting. You're not going to be scavenging or foraging, fishing. You're not going to be doing any of that in certain types of SHTF. There's not going to be any of that. And you're not going to be going out hunting for gunfights. You're not going to be out fully engaging yourself in gunfights. If you do, then your preparedness is all backwards and you're preparing for the wrong reason. It's good to have some ammo in case, but to have 50,000 rounds or more of every single gun that you own, that's a little excessive. For one, if you are forced to leave, you're not taking it with you. And if somebody comes in and overtakes your house, you just gave them a bunch of guns and ammo and your food and all that, which is a different topic for a different video. I've done videos on that. But that's a different topic. You're just arming the enemy. If you fill your house full of nonsense crap that you're not going to be able to take with you anyway, and you don't want people to know, because you don't know because this day and age right now, you don't know who your enemy is. I mean, some you may, some it's like, yeah, but some people you don't know who the enemy is, and you never want to underestimate your enemy. They could be playing the good guy. They could be fully invested in pretending to be on your side when they're just waiting for that time to turn on you. You don't know who the enemy is. Don't underestimate them. Know who they are, and just know that you can only trust, even the good ones, you can only trust for so long. Don't be caught up in this, oh, I'm just going to barter my way, barter. I mean, we do that now, and with cash, I mean, cash is bartering money. You're trading money for good or service. It's going to be that same way, but I don't think it's going to, in some serious heavy duty SHTF scenarios, bartering's going to be a lot less of an option than a lot of people think. And it could potentially get a lot of people killed or robbed or murdered or ran out, forced to bug out or whatever. It could potentially cause a lot more problems than people think. Anyway, starting to ramble like I tend to do at the end of the videos. I just kind of think about it. It's something to think about, like, from both sides. Bartering is, try to give people a different perspective. I know there's two different sides to every story. I try to look at both and then give my take and kind of give some of you another perspective to look at it from, to kind of maybe get you thinking, like, maybe I'm just an idiot, or maybe he has a point or whatever. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Links below to stuff, donation link down below. If you feel like, supporting the channel, there's the super thanks. There's a link below that you can donate a few bucks if you feel like it. No pressure there. That's just if you feel like it. If you feel like you got some value and want to help support, awesome. If not, if all you do is hit that subscribe button to do the free stuff, that right there greatly helps, and I appreciate every single one of you. Love y'all. We'll see you in the next one.